Man, yeah, this interview with Wilder. This is Wilder. I'm gonna break this down in a second. I got some notes on this. We're gonna get to this in a second. We're gonna get to this in a second, man. The news by Shanewz. This is the Source Experience. That was Deontay Wilder interview following his defeat. Let's start this from the start again. This is the Source Experience. The news by Shanewz. You know the vibes.
Hey guys, this is Tiana Tuimu-Helua. I'm a top-ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout-out to Sauce Talk Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes. This is the Source Talk. Merry Christmas to all. Happy holidays. We are up in here. We're gonna take our time this morning. See, I got me a Monster Energy drink on deck. But I want to get to this Wilder interview, right? Got my notes here. I took notes on it. You know, I'm at the desk, right? But I know my kids, they shouldn't bother me today, right? So I was able to jot down some speaking points on this interview, right? That I want to speak on. The Wilder debacle, right? He was like everywhere in it. You see, I titled him the king of the LDBC. I'm going to get to that because he keeps referencing to himself as the king. He's the king of the LDBC. It all makes sense now as to why he's always going over there with 7-8 Sports. And, you know, this one to me was another one of those interviews where it's like, the king of the LDBC. That's why I'm calling him that. He didn't really, he spoke on a lot of things, but he didn't. Shout out to Barbershop Conversations. I always don't see eye to eye with this guy, but I believe that a lot of the interviews that he did with Barbershop Conversations were very more informative and just better for the true boxing fans. The interviews that he does with 7-8 Sports, I just feel like they on some, you know, jive turkey ass shit, man. It is what it is, and we're gonna get to that. That's why I said he's the king of the LDBC. Merry Christmas to you too, as well, Toby. Salute to you, first one in the building. One of our executive producers abroad. In London, I said they love me in London, right? So the overall interview, right? Things that he touched on. And I'm just gonna go down, no particular order, and I'm gonna just knock them off, right? He says that he lost his love for boxing. When you watch the interview, he says he lost his love with boxing, right? Because he's a killer, right? Lost the love for boxing. Um, my reaction to that is, if you lost the love of something, and he stressed this a lot in the interview, that he's in a great place, he's happy. Um, you know, why still box if you lost the love, right? If you're doing something, right? And I want to use what I do right here, right? For a long time, when I was doing this, podcasting, blogging, speaking on boxing, um, I was doing this not to get monetized, not to you know, to gain wealth and money. I was doing this for the love, right? That's why it was easy for me to do, even when a lot of people wasn't listening to me, or they were trying to undermine me and just do a lot of backdooring, right? It didn't matter to me because this is something that I love to do. I had a passion for this, right? So when you have a passion and a love for something, it's easy to do. I just listened to Deontay Wilder say that he lost the love of boxing. It showed, brother. It showed in your performance. Um, you know, Saturday, the day of reckoning. But I also hear a lot of confusion and delusion in you as well. But the confusion is these things right here. When you say um, you have a country behind you now in Saudi Arabia, um, because they want to see you fight, and you feel like America, the states, you stress this too, that the things that you've been through when they turned their back on you. But like I said, you are the king of the LDBC. Nobody in the LDBC turned their back on you. That's why you are comfortable over there, right? Um, I just think that, going back to what you said, you lost the love. So, so now that you are no longer in love with the sport, and I quote the great Marvin Hagler, right? And I'm pretty sure you are sleeping on silk sheets and you are good. So when you reach the mountaintop, which you have done in the sport of boxing as a champion, right? Long reigning champion, I believe 10 successful defenses. It's easy to lose the love of boxing. Um, so I know a lot of people who have been going back and forth on this on social media, getting into debates and all type of things. Anytime you lose the love of something, maybe it's best to walk away from it. That's why I said, listening to this interview, or I don't even look at it as an interview, because there's a lot of things that the guy could have asked you. I just look at you speaking to one of your 7-8 is the general of the LDBC. You are the king of the LDBC. So you're speaking to somebody in your court. That's what I looked at it as. Because a lot of questions that he should have asked you. That's why I pulled this up right here. He did not ask, because your advisor, manager, Shelly Finkel, said something about a cryo chamber. I don't even think he addressed that or asked you anything about that. If he did, I might have missed it, kicking it with my kids and, doing other things. I didn't hear no mention of that. I was looking for that, right? But that never came. Hopefully y'all caught that source. Pause. But I did hear, like I said, you're not. You felt like, you was wronged, right? By, I guess, the Americans, the states. That's why you can't stand human beings, right? You mentioned that too in the interview, that you can't stand human beings. Now I highlighted that because me covering you in years past, right? I did see familiar faces around you, but I also did see some faces that aren't around you no more, like your security, the guy that used to always be around you. I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's not no longer there. And I hear you in the interview saying how people betray you and things of that. I'm wondering, is this one of the guys that has portrayed you? Because he was a fixture in your court, being that you are the king, but he's no longer there. I would like to, you know, wonder about that, who you were referring to. Also, I didn't see your brother. Shout out to your brother. I remember covering him when he got KO'd at the Barclays Center. You know, Marcellus. I didn't see him around. You know, but I know you guys do the music thing together. But I would have, you know, holiday times, Christmas. I wish, you know, the guy would have asked you some things along those lines, but that wasn't answered or asked as well, right? All right, let's go to some other things. You highlighted the fact that you are trying to rebuilding, you're into rebuilding yourself, um, because you know, you kept stressing this a lot too, that you felt that you was done wrong for your greatness, because of your greatness. Um, I want to speak on that, right? Rebuilding, right? This was your third loss, right? The other two losses came to one particular fighter, Tyson Fury. You fought 3 times, draw, 2 losses. But you were talking about rebuilding yourself. I wish the guy would have, you know, jumped on that. You only lost twice to one man, but you talking about rebuilding yourself. You lost the love. Um, I've been on my platform and I stated this. And this is my assessment now after watching and listening to this interview. Um, you said rebuilding yourself. Like I said, this is just your third loss. You only lost twice, being stopped both times to one man, but you're talking about rebuilding yourself. If you rock with the Source experience, I always emphasize and stress this. I said, damn, how much did the Tyson Fury fight take out of him? Now, hearing you talk about rebuilding yourself, like I said, this is only your third loss. You lost twice to one man, but you're talking about rebuilding yourself. You was coming off of a first round knockout victory, yes, inactivity over a year ago, but you was stressing rebuilding yourself. So my question would have been, and this guy, like I said, once again, you know, one of the courts in the King's Court just let this roll over. What are you rebuilding from? Did Tyson Fury take that much from you? Is that a fair question? Hopefully y'all caught that. Right? Shout out to Toby. Let me get to your comment, Toby, right? Toby said, was JD's there? I didn't. Yeah, JD was there. He was there. He was there. But he's talking about rebuilding. You got 3 losses. You just lost Saturday night. 2 losses are to one man. You want to rebuild yourself. This is what you said. Another thing you said, so much going on, they don't, you know, you got so much going on. What are some of the things that you got going on? Because I'm listening to you. You're happy. That's why I titled you the Jolly Green Giant. And I use green for a reason, because like when I speak with coaches, they say you're still a lot green. You're green. And shout out to Mark Breland. I was calling Mark Mitch, you know, being funny, Mitch Breland. You know, that's what I call him. But Mark Breland. Appreciate the $5 in the building, Carlos. Let me highlight that. Merry Christmas to you as well, good brother. Zaga. Yaga. Look, you see I got on my, I don't know if you see it, you know, my wife took care of me. Got me some, one thing about us, right? And shout out to Reggie Owens. I see Reggie Owens speak about this. I am of African, Caribbean descent. We are not kings. We are chiefs. We are warlords, chiefs. I am a chief. You will never hear me say I'm a king. These are chiefs. Jewelry right here. I am a chief of a tribe. You know the vibes. Zaga, Yaga. Yes, so all that king shit, it is what it is, right? Like I said, he is the king of the LDBC. But staying on topic with a lot of the things that he was bringing up, right? Rebuilding himself, only with 2 losses to one guy, but he was stressing about rebuilding himself. So, like I said, my question would have been, how much did Tyson Fury take up out of you? How much did Tyson Fury take up out of you? You know? Inactivity, yes. You see, I spoke on that big time, Toby. Inactivity. He's talked about that. His timing was off, right? And look, I took, you know me, Toby. I'm a professional, man. Even though I'm at the crib right now, it's Christmas. I did it like I was at the spot. I took great notes on this. Inactivity. He talked about that, Toby. Let's break that down. You probably didn't watch the interview, right? But I did, right? And I'll break down a lot of things in there for you. He talked about his timing being off in sparring. I have it right here. Throughout the camp. So he knew going in, right? He said his timing was off in sparring. And I talked about that too. I said, you know, all the videos with Malik, Freaky Leaky, Malik Yoba, right? I was like on the pads. I said, that's cool. All that, you know, on the pads and the videos, that doesn't make up for ring work. And he stated this. He said, you know, in sparring, he was off. His timing was off. And it transferred over to the actual fight. It transferred over to the actual fight. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Gumbo in the building. Another $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Let me highlight that as well. Big dog Gumbo in the building, man, down there in Louisville, Kentucky. Right? He said, I think Fury took a lot out of Wilder. Salute to the family. Salute to you as well, man. Highlight that. Let me give you a round of applause. Appreciate the $5. Also, back here to you, Carlos. Appreciate the $5. Round of applause for you as well. Yes, you know the vibes. Team Tucker, official boxing business. The news by Shanewz. Zaga, Yaga. But back to what Gumbo was saying. Yes, Tyson Fury took a lot out of him, man. Because I wish this dude would have brought that up, man, but he didn't. Like, these dudes are just, you know, whatever. That's what they do, right? But when he said rebuilding, right, that's what I would have jumped right on. Like, what are you rebuilding from? You only lost to Tyson Fury, right? But you're talking about rebuilding. So how much did Tyson Fury take from you that you need to rebuild? Because shout out to WCS. I was listening to WCS last night. The first fight, to a lot of people, they're not going to say it, but you won that fight, man. If we really are on like unbiased shit, calling it how it is, you flatline that man in the 12th round. Prior to, you know, losing most of the rounds and getting out boxed, boxing is boxing. You stretched him out. That fight should have been off. So it should have been, to be honest, it shouldn't have been no a rematch, right? Because you won the first fight. Tyson Fury should have been done with, but they called it a draw. The second time around, he got with, you know, my man. He got with my man. Crunk brings the funk, right? He got with the hitter, right? He got a hitter in his corner.
Yes, this is Sauce Talk, Showtime Shanewz Midi. Say I got the man himself, Mr. Sugar Hill. First off, champ, thank you for your time. This man needs a little introduction.
Sugar Hill on Sauce Talk.
That's right. That's right.
Got with Sugar, man. He got with the Sugar, man. Sugar gave him the formula, and he went upside your head, man. It is what it is. Yo, it is what it is, right? He went upside your head. So it should have been 1-1 going into that fight. And you was mad at Uncle Mitch, aka Mark Breland, for stopping the second fight when it was clear you should have stopped it, right? Because you had hemorrhage to the brain. You know, your eardrum got bust, right? You know, you was bleeding out the ear, right? Listen, I'm gonna say this, right? And I don't give a fuck who doesn't like this. My Caribbean side's gonna come out of me. For those that don't like this, when I say this, right? Suck your mother, right? As a trainer, coach, it is your job to protect the fighter from himself. Yes, Deontay Wilder wanted to go out on a shield. He wanted to die, right? Suck your mother. You too, Wilder, suck your mother, right? As a trainer, coach, it is your job to protect the fighter from himself. You was bleeding out the ear, idiot, and it shows right now. Look at the interviews that you were doing. You are sounding confused. There are reports of you doing other stuff now, but you are sounding very confused. Let's just say that Mitch, aka Uncle Mark Breland, Mitch, would have let you continue to fight with your eardrum bust, bleeding out the ear, right? Look how slow you are now. You're slow, Wilder. It is what it is, right? Ring rust, inactivity. No, you're slow. This man, and I'm speaking from experience. Look at Riddick Bowe, right? Riddick Bowe, Vander Holyfield fought 3 wars. Both of those guys are kind of slow right now, right? Mark Breland, aka Mitch, saved you, brother. But you know what? He was ridiculed. He poisoned your water, all kind of shit. I knew you can't pull that shit in Saudi Arabia, right? But I was wondering, was your water poisoned in Saudi? Because you was lackluster. Maybe that crown, the LDBC crown that you had on your head, maybe that was a little too heavy. Because you didn't have on the suit this time, but you did have on the big LDBC crown, the king of the LDBC. Maybe that was too heavy. Because your performance against Joseph Parker was the same. But this time, like I said, aka Mitch, Uncle Mark Breland wasn't around to poison your water. So I was like, hopefully I was going to get some type of, answers with, you doing the exclusive, but we didn't. You're just rebuilding yourself. Okay, cool. Another thing I got highlighted right here, right? Wilder stated 50 million will make you do anything. 50 million guaranteed. And when I heard that, I was like, man, that is too funny, right? But once again, his friend, that's his friend. That's one of his the fellowship, the Lord of the Rings, right? The Fellowship of the Rings, right? He's the king of the LDBC. When that 50 million was brought up and he was talking about that 50 million, I wished, the guy over there would have been like, man, remember didn't they offer you 50 million before for AJ for 2 fights? That you turned down? But now all of a sudden 50 million to make you do, I believe it was like 120 million, right? It was 50 million for 1, 50 million for 2, and 20 million for Dominic Brazil. I'm gonna let that soak in real quick. Hopefully y'all caught that. I'm gonna read some more of these comments. I appreciate you guys, man. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo. He said, wow, the one that fight. He did, man. The first fight definitely did, He knocked him out, man. That fight, Jack Grease, I call him Jack Grease the Grease. Jack had the orders, man. Jack woke that man up and made sure he beat the count, man. But I listen, all my years of covering boxing, being around it, when a guy gets put out like that, usually the fight is waved off. You don't get a count. You don't get a count. Listen, check this out, right? Let's put this into perspective, right? You guys are on here killing my man. He's having a great Christmas right now. He's home. He's probably he probably ate a whole motherfucking brisket, a jerk brisket already. Big Baby Miller. You guys on here killing Big Baby Miller. Yo, Big Baby Miller's fight was waved off with 8 seconds ago. He was still on his feet on the ropes, but they waved that off. Tyson Fury was stretched out on his back like this, but was afforded a count. Hopefully, y'all caught that sauce. He said, salute to Toby. Mr. Gumbo gives it back to you. But back to Wilder now. Let me get to this. This is another point right here, right? I got to stay on with what he was talking about. Rebuilding, right? Now, granted, listen, check this out. It's the heavyweights. Heavyweights fight old, up in age, right? Quick question, man, for there's 3 of y'all in here, right? 38 years old. 38 years old. He'll be 39 next October. He's talking about getting it back. Getting it back at 38 years old. How do y'all feel about that, man? Before I go in on it, because I'm gonna go in on it, because like I said, these are the things that I highlighted from that interview. Rebuilding himself. 38 years old now. Got to get it all back together. At 38 years old, he got to get it all back together. How do y'all feel about that, man? How do y'all feel about that? He says, no hate, but name it great box. Man, Gumbo, we're going to get to all of this, Gumbo. Great comment. I got to highlight your comments, Gumbo. You are official team source, news, Shanewz, the news by Shanewz member. I'm going to get to that too, Gumbo. I'm going to get to that. But I'm 38 years old, right? He's talking about getting it back. Like I just said, I don't want to look at you like that, Wilder. I fuck these niggas. Like I just said, suck your mother to them niggas, right? To me, you got 3 losses, my guy. In all actuality, you only have 2 losses because the Parker loss is the loss. But you lost to one man twice, right? Tyson Fury. So I don't really look at that as 3 losses. I just look at you, that guy has your number. You lost to him twice. So you have 3 losses, right? But you're 38 years old talking about getting it back together. Other than Tyson Fury and now Joseph Parker, what are you trying to get back together unless Tyson Fury took some shit up out of you? Because everybody else that we have seen you in the ring with, you have demolished. Now, I know in the interview you said that you lost your killer instinct. You're the Jolly Green Giant. That's what I'm referring to you as now, the Jolly Green Giant. But how did you lose your killer instinct when, like I just said, and hopefully you guys are catching the source, everybody you have demolished other than Joseph Parker and Tyson Fury. But even Tyson Fury, even though you lost to him, you put him on his back the first fight. The second fight, you got steamrolled. But the third fight, you dropped. That probably, to me, your loss, right? Your greatest loss when you got put flat on your face. To me, when I covered you, I've been around you, I watched a lot of your fights. That, to me, is your greatest fight. And that ties into what you said, Gumbo, right here. No hate, but name a great boxer Wilder fought. But what do I know? I'm going to say Tyson Fury. The epic fights with Tyson Fury, right? And another name I'm going to give him, right? I was at the fight at the Barclays Center, Luis King Kong Ortiz. Those 2 guys right there, right? Especially Luis King Kong Ortiz, because in both of those fights, right? Just like the Tyson Fury fight, but he was not victorious. He went through the fire, the hellstorm. If Mitch, a.k.a. Mark Breland, didn't pull the old school tactic, I think Luis Ortiz would have knocked him off. He was still kind of out, right? And Mitch, a.k.a. Mark Breland, did the old school tactic. He put a blob of Vaseline by his eye, and Wilder had to go back to the corner. They had to get that Vaseline off, so it allowed him a couple of extra minutes, seconds to gain his bearings. If you guys know what I'm talking about, especially the ones that was at that fight at the Barclays Center, and then Wilder went along to finish him off. You know, we can't, like I said, we can't forget the great moments that Mitch, aka Mark Breland, and Wilder did have together. Even though they are no longer, you know, a team or seeing eye to eye, they did have magical moments when we talk about Wilder and Wilder's career and the things that he did. These guys, you know, it's an old saying, they can't erase what you were. They can't erase that, right? But I would say those two, Gumbo, you know, those are the two guys. The rest, kind of on the fence, right? Maybe if he can get AJ, and we're going to get to that because he brought up some interesting things about AJ. But I would say those two, Gumbo. Let me get to some more of these comments. The comments are cooking. Shout out to Bruce Gas in the building. I see you, OG. You know, Merry Christmas to you as well. He said, I got family here. Appreciate you, though, Tobe. You are always around. You are a true supporter of the Source movement, right? But rebuilding at 38 years old, right? I know he said he wants to get back to the top and become champion again. That's a high road to climb, especially after hearing what you've been saying. At 38 years old, you know, Father Time is undefeated. You have a lot of young lions out there, right? I just think that, and this is coming from you know, a journalistic standpoint. At 38 years old, right? But it can happen. George Foreman did it late in age, right? Late in life. But at 38 years old, you only have 3 losses, 2 coming to one man in particular, and the other being Saturday night. This is the news by Shanewz assessment. You sound delusional to me. You're talking about rebuilding and getting it back, but what are you rebuilding from? Like I said, you only lost to Tyson Fury. Granted, you've been out the ring, inactivity, your timing is off, but what are you rebuilding? Did Tyson Fury take something up out of you? I wish this guy would have got into that, but he was just like, you know, like I said, those interviews and talks with him now, that shit is jive turkey talk. That nigga's a big jive turkey, and you're comfortable over there because, like I said, you are the king of the LDBC. But I would have loved to want to know, what are you rebuilding from? What are you rebuilding from? And then, me being who I am, the news by Shanewz, I would have said, damn, if you need to rebuild, do you think you need to rebuild without Malik Yoba, aka Malik Scott? Is that a fair assessment? It is what it is. The news by Shanewz, we are cooking. Let's see what Toby said. Let me get to some of these comments, man. Get to some of these comments, right? He said, in those Fury fights, nobody can say Deontay Wilder doesn't have heart. He could have been too brave in one way. Yeah, man. I'll tell you, those fights took a lot out of him, right? On a side note, I don't know if you guys picked up on this. I want y'all to catch this. They talked about the Saudi Arabian culture, right? And you know, this that has nothing to do with it, but it has everything to do with it, right? In the Saudi Arabian culture, Deontay Wilder brought up assault against women. It's like a $5 million fine, or a $10 million fine, right? The moment I heard that, you know what clicked in my mind? Jamel Charlo will never fight over there. Jamel Charlo will never fight over there. Why do I say that? Jamel Charlo has an assault charge against a woman right now, pending. You know how these Islamic Middle Eastern countries are. He will never fight over there. And I'm just speaking on that because, you know, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be a lot of shifting and fighting going over there. Jamel Charlo might have just closed the door on himself, possibly getting some of that oil money. That's just on a side note right there, you know. Yes, yes. We working over here. We are working, you know. Now, let's get to the AJ question, right? Now, that is the one thing I'm going to give this guy, you know, a good interview for. He got to that question, right? Now, I spoke about this even before hearing this because I seen it. If you watch and you pay attention, you do notes, you pay attention to things. He asked him about the AJ fight, right? Because the rumors and the talk coming out leading up to it was that they signed off for 2 fights. March 9th was supposed to be the first, right? Now, um, Deontay Wilder in the interview spoke on this, that they were so happy when he lost, which was obvious. I remember speaking with WCS and bringing this up too. I was like, yo, I said, damn, everybody thought it was going to be the other way around. It was this way. I said, maybe that was part of the plan, right? But look what Deontay Wilder said. He said, they don't want AJ to fight me anyway. They were looking for a way out the fight. They was happy. So this has been obvious, right? That and he also stated this. Look at the interview. He said that if he was successful and AJ was successful, AJ was talking about retiring to duck out of the fight. Now I say this. People are still paid for that fight. Is AJ that shook of Wilder? Like after that performance, wouldn't you want to fight Wilder? There's 6 people in here, man. Somebody feel free to answer that. Like as a advisor, coach, a team member, now you have a couple of blueprints to go off, right? You have the Parker, you have the two you have the 2 Tyson Fury fights, even 3. You also have 2 King Kong Ortiz fights to take from. And fighting Deontay Wilder. You also could bring in a Joseph Parker, right? Because wasn't that stated too that Joseph Parker worked with Tyson Fury in preparation for Wilder, right? So these are things that Anthony Joshua can do, because looking on Twitter and social media, I still see the big, it's a big a big demand still for this fight. Hold on, let me highlight. Look what my daughter's got me. This is on my desk. Let me show y'all this. Can y'all see this right here? Y'all see this? This is on my desk now. I got my, I'm at the desk, man. This is my makeshift desk right here. My daughter's got me that. I also have this on my desk as well. You know who this is, right? Shout out to WCS for taking this picture. I framed it. Can y'all see that? Y'all see that? That's on my desk as well. The media marketing agent, The News by Shanewz, right? That is number 5. Yes, that's why I'm Mr. 5% now. Jahad Tucker, let's give him a round of applause. Yeah, shout out to my nephew, man. Top 5 beatdown. 12 fights in? 12 fights in, man. That guy is amazing, man. 2024, big things are going on. Big things are going on, right? But staying on code with the interview and Wilder. Wilder is still kind of butt sore, right? That's a fair line to use with him, right? Being that they wanted him to eat a Twinkie and do all these things, right? Wilder stressed the fact that, he's still, you know why he loves to go over there with 7-8, and I wrote this down, not only because he's the king of the LDBC, but getting to the point right here, he's butt sore because he feels that he's been done wrong because of his greatness and the things that he stood for, right? he's been done wrong, right? Last time I checked, right, and I know a lot of people wanted to compare him to Ali, right? Um, and rest in peace to the GOAT, Ali, right? They want to compare him to the greatest, right? It's like, oh, he's the people champ. No, listen. When you talk about somebody being done wrong, right? Muhammad Ali. You, on the other hand, you're sensitive. But you said this too. I got this in the note. You said you and Freaky Leaky Malik are sensitive. You are. You're on your Ralph Tres van. Let me see if I still got the pipes. You need a man with sensitivity, a man like baby, someone you can. That's you. You're sensitive. You said it right. So you talk about people doing you wrong, right? And this is not putting you in the box with Ali. Ali was done wrong, right? Ali was stripped of his title. He couldn't fight for years when in his prime, right? I don't see that of you, Wilder. You're 38 years old, right? You was inactive later in your career. Prior to that, you, some would say, were moved and managed very well, 10 successful defenses, but yet you feel that you've been done wrong because of, your comments you made to this day. And I guess you feel like the media, mainstream media, they did you wrong. But like I said, the media did you wrong, right? This might have been your longest streak of inactivity, whereas Ali, the GOAT, he had to go to court. He had to go to court to fight again, So I just say, maybe you are a little sensitive, man. Hopefully y'all caught that source. And yes, those were gunshots at him. Those were definitely gunshots at him, Those were gunshots. Because if the media did you wrong and you're still griping over that, you have your fellowship, your kingdom, king of the LDBC. They worship the ground you walk on. I watched these guys last night. They still making excuses for you. They talking, like you the only one, man. You, maybe Earl Spence, right? Because he's another one that has taken the L, and the excuses, they it just wasn't his night, or he just couldn't have got beat by the better man. They make excuses for you guys, right? But you feel like you've been done wrong. I wish you would have went more into that. Like, who did you wrong? Because if the people that are doing you wrong don't matter to you, it shouldn't matter. And I say that to say this, right? Like, you stated that you don't want for nothing. You also stated this. I got these in the notes now. I'm breaking it down. 99% or 98% of the people won't, or they'll never do some of the things you did, or meet some of the people you met, or go to places that you've been. But yet, you're holding on to the fact that you've been done wrong. To me, like I said, delusional, you sound confused to me, brother. If 99% or 98% of the people will never be able to do and accomplish some of the things you have been done, and you talked about being happy in a place of this, let that go. Now, I say that because that's the type of time I'm on. I let a lot of stuff go, but I just come on here and I just throw them motherfuckers' faces. Especially internet weirdos, guys that try to shit on me or stop the shit that I do. I come on here and I throw it in their face. Maybe that's what you should do. Just throw it in their face, but you're holding on to it, right? It seems like, because you're saying you have a whole country behind you now. In Saudi Arabia, you even talked about buying property in a house over there. They only got you for 3 fights. Well, 2 now. 2 fights. But you say you have a whole country behind you. Let that soak in, y'all. Let that soak in real quick. Let me get to some more of these comments. Appreciate y'all in here rocking out with me. Man, the numbers are up. The numbers are up. Hopefully my likes is up, man. He said AJ will stop Wilder the way he tried to pop. Wow, Gumbo, man, if you're still in here, you Gumbo. Listen, you know me. I don't argue. I don't go back and forth. Please break that down, man. You know this is a free flow over here. I would like to hear why you feel that way, man. I would like to hear why you feel that way, man. He said, I've not heard anything about AJ retiring. He said he's carrying on fighting for a few more years. Yeah, that's the other guy, a Team Wilder member, also mentioned that he said he was going to retire. Retire for what, right? I didn't hear that either, but that's what they're claiming. That's what they're claiming. I wish he would have asked him about this right here, man. This cryo chamber shit, man. Shelly Finkel, his guys, said he was in a cryo chamber, man. But there was no mention of that unless I missed it. I might have been putting Legos together with my kids or something. Because like I said, I watched the interview. Most of it I had it playing. But like I said, it was very dry. Let me get a drink because that's how dry the interview was. It was just dry. It was like, it was like, to me, right, one thing about interviews, and by the way, tune in tomorrow. I told y'all, it's a couple phone calls with my team and affiliates and people that I deal with. We having Javon Woodard Jr., 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Source Talk interview, newly signed to Wise Owl Boxing. Come on through, I'm going to do my interview thing. I also have it all on Twitter, Instagram. Feel free to drop questions in the comments, right? If not, who cares? Like I said, I'm good. We're just piling up the stats. You can either be a part of the experience or just watch the experience take off. But hey, what do I know? But yes, that is Javon Woodard Jr. tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Source. Yeah, man, we're closing out the year in style, man, real strong. Like I said, I'll probably be doing a lot more interviews, especially with fighters that I'm affiliated with or fighters that respect the craft and know what I bring to the table. Other than that, like I said, I'm in another stage in my life. I'm like the Jolly Green Giant, man. I'm happy, man. I'm not gonna be like, listen. I told this to WCS and to other people. I said, yo, man, I put in so much work. If I reach out to you for an interview and you act like, you get on your goofy shit about views and likes and all that, I'm like, whatever, brother. Well, I'm good. I don't do this for that, man. I do this for what I do it for the stats. See, these views and likes and all that, those ain't no stats, man. Those ain't no stats, man. I don't, a lot of these guys that got these numbers and all that, I don't see them actually doing some of the things that I'm doing in real life. So that's why I stand on that with that, man. But let's get back to Mr. Wilder, right? Mr. Wilder. I have these notes right here. He said that leading into the camp, or coming into the fight, that his timing was off in the sparring for the first half of the camp. It showed Saturday night. Now, when he fell from grace against Tyson Fury, Mitch, a.k.a. Mark Breland, was thrown under the bus. But Freaky Leaky, Malik, look, I got to call a spade, man. I'm listening to the interview. It sounded like your camp. And these are the things that you said. I wrote all these things down. You're rebuilding, right? You want to rebuild yourself. You're sparring. The camp, it sounds like, you might need to shake shit up. If you want to rebuild, right? What for those that's in here, 6 people, right? rebuilding, right? In boxing. What does that mean to y'all, man? If you're a 38-year-old fighter, you're talking about rebuilding. How like that's why I said that the interview to me was like, ugh, this guy is like, you're a groupie. You know, you like when he said these things, you should have been like, rebuild how? What rebuilding how? You know, switching up coaches. What are you rebuilding? You know, you said your timing and shit was off, inactivity, sparring. Well, how are you going to rebuild? How are you going to rebuild, man? You know, shout out to Gumbo, man. Gumbo said, let me pull that up. Gumbo said, I saw a great ape making excuses I never seen grown man do this until I came to the internet. Yeah, man. Thank you, Gumbo. Let me see if I can pin that. Hold on. Let me pin that, man. I got to pin that, brother. Let me see. Let me see, man. Let me pin that, man. Internet behavior, bro. That's that internet crash dummy activity behavior, man. Yeah, I wish the interview, right? The interviewer, you know, like I said, man, he needs to, yo. And I know they're gonna hear this, because listen, when I talk my shit, it gets back to these people, right? Yeah, you need to give my man WCS, man, or even barbershop conversation, man. You know, I know you got some type of deal with 7-8 and all that. Yeah, your interviews with 7-8 are trash, bro. It is what it is, man. You know, they ain't gonna tell you this because they part of the they part of the you know, they part of the goddamn you know, the your kingdom over there, right? I'm not part of that shit. So I'm gonna tell you, brother, those interviews are trash. You know, those interviews are straight trash, bro. Because it was so much that this dude could have won off of from, you know, you talking to him and opening up. But he was just like, yo, and I say this respectfully, he was a bitch. Yeah, you know when you wooing a bitch, right? And you know, you talking to a bitch, right? Because and you know, no disrespect, but you supposed to be some type of pimp ass nigga, right? You was the bitch, right? You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. He was sweet talking you. You was just going for everything he was saying, right? Like, nah, man, you interviewing him. You supposed to, you know, and you don't even be on camera, man. Like, yeah, you should have been like, rebuild how? You know? You should have been like, who did you wrong? You know, but you just, you know, he was just wooing you. You know, you was just being wooed, man. You was just being wooed by Wild. Like I said, he's the king, man. He's the king of the LDBC, man. Yeah, now Wilder, right? He's a king, right? But he wants to be an African like warrior. He got to do a little bit of research, man. You're a chief. If you are you know what it is, I'm telling you. Shout out to Reggie. I see Reggie speaking about this. But yo, y'all niggas really got lost off of Black Panther, bro. Wakanda is made up, man. Yo, Wakanda, yo, Katala and all them, King Katala. Listen, man. Yo, African tribes have chiefs, man. You know, a chief is a king too, but they don't listen. King and all that. That's some old, you know. That's not the vibes, bro. They're chiefs. Especially if you're a warrior, you're the warrior chief. You know, you're not the king. You know. You know, but hey, what do I know, right? Yo, what do I know, man? I look. I know I got on some chief jewelry, bro. I mean, I don't never, you know, these dudes be like, yo, king, peace, king. You know, that's why a lot of these dudes that be using that terminology, yo, king. All these niggas is jive turkeys, bro. You niggas ain't royalty. You niggas is peasants, man. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, respectfully, man. You know, all jokes aside, a lot of you niggas be all talking this king shit and queen. You niggas is peasants, man. You niggas is peasants and peons, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing royalty about y'all, man. But let me get back to the topic because I'm closing in on my hour, man. I'm closing in on my hour, man. Now, this right here might upset some of y'all, right? But it has been brought to my attention, right? And me being somebody who, I this is one of my many occupations with the marijuana, right? So it's been brought to my attention that Deontay Wilder has been smoking a lot, alleged, right? We got to say alleged over here because we don't want you guys reporting my channel and all that. Now, when I watched this interview and I was listening to him, I'm like, man, he might be, man. He has those traits, right? You know, like, you know how like the police, they would say the profiling. When you profile them, right, and listening to the interview, right, of him talking with 7-8, he gave you those traits as somebody that is a smoker, right? Because what was he saying? Yo, I'm happy, man. I'm just happy, yo. I'm not that killer no more. I don't have that killer in me. And somebody was telling me, they was like, yeah, man, the dude be smoking a lot. And then I thought about, what was presented. Remember, he got arrested in LA. Remember this? I got this in the notes. Remember, he got arrested in LA when he had the gun that they, all that got taken care of. But what else was on that document, right? Marijuana or something. They said the car was smelling like weed or something. And when I listened to this guy talk, and he's everywhere, like a smoker, right? He's like a smoker. He's trying to get it back. But yeah, you only lost 3 times. You want to rebuild, but how? You're gonna rebuild with the same people around you? What are you rebuilding? That's confusing to me. And then, like I said, the general just was, he didn't pick up on none of that shit. Like you supposed to say, how you gonna rebuild? He was just happy to just be in the court, right? The general just left us out to dry, and all them old peasant ass niggas over there, right? Because he's the king, right? A king has peasants as well, right? Because everybody's not royalty in the kingdom. Is that a fair assessment? There's 4 y'all in here. I don't want y'all to think that I'm just talking down on people, right? And kingdoms, right? Aren't there poor people, right? There are, right? In the kingdom, right? You have the royalty. You have let me use the Game of Thrones, right? In the Game of Thrones, right? You have the king, then you have I'm gonna use Gumbo since Gumbo's in here. All the people that's in my chat, you would have the House of Gumbo. He's like a lord, right? Then you would have the House of Bartlett. That's Toby. These guys are royal, right? Then you would have the House of Bruce Gold, right? Bruce Gas, right? House of WCS. These are royals, right? They have their names of value. But then you have the peasants, right? You have a whole bunch of peasants and just underlings, right? That's what we seen in that chat over there. There was a whole bunch of peasants, right? Because Wilder's the king of the LDBC, and all the peasants was over there. If that makes any sense. Hopefully y'all caught that. Yeah, he said, how can you be a king and live with your mom? And your queen to have 5 baby daddies, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, these guys are weird, bro. These guys be internet crash dummies, man. They be internet crash dummies. He said some of the greats have 3 losses on. Yeah, more than that, man. More than that, man. More than that. I'm telling you, Wilder, right? I got this in my notes. Let me break this out, right? I just think Wilder, right? Like the people that have been around him for so long, he's really on that shit. Cause the most shit that he was stressing that he was a king. Yo, I'm a king. I'm a king. He was just a king, right? Well, listen, check this. I didn't want to put this out there. That's why I kept saying he's the king of the LDBC, right? Because how are you a king, my guy? But yet you claim you're an American, right? You know me, I do my job, man. That's why I'm giving you a title. You are the king of the LDBC because you have been done wrong over here, but you didn't say who did you wrong, right? People that you helped build, you said this. If you start the podcast, I use some of that audio. Brothers that you helped build their podcast and did all these things, right? That's what kings do. But you're the king, right? But yet your kingdom, you're an American. But you have another country in Saudi Arabia that is behind you. But yet the country that you're from is not behind you, but you're a king. Does that make any sense? Did y'all catch that? See, that is why I said maybe the brother, he's smoking that high grade, right? He's smoking that high grade, right? He got, champ, get with me, champ. Listen, they saying you fucking with it. This is the sore strain. But hey, what do I know? Get with me, champ, Get with me, champ. Get with me, champ, right? What you say, Gumbo? Hold on, let me get to my guy, Gumbo, man. Gumbo says he has too many yes. Oh, I don't want to get into that, Gumbo, but since you commented it, let's get on it. Because they they get mad at me. They say I talk too much. I watched one of his yes men yesterday, right? He did his podcast, right? He did his podcast, and he's one of the biggest yes men that's around him, right? And his podcast, he stated, "Wow, okay, that's nice. Look, let me say yes. That's cool. Yes, that's good. Yes." In his podcast, he stated that one of his biggest yes men, that Wilder had Buddy hurt, but he couldn't jump on him. Did any of y'all see that in the fight? I got to rewatch it. Did y'all see Wilder have him hurt? If y'all did, there's 5 of y'all in here. Please tell me which round so I can break that down, man. Where Wilder had Joseph Parker hurt, it didn't jump on him. Because, listen, I might have missed that shit, man. But you see, like when I'm here, what goes on, man? My kids, they rush me. They love me. They embrace me. So maybe I missed that part, in the fight where he had him hurt, but he just didn't finish him off or jump on him. I didn't see that, bro. And I don't think the judges seen it either. Because what was the scores? Wasn't it like 120, 108? It was crazy, right? So if judges are scoring a fight like that, that's a shutout, right? But I watched, like I said, one of the team bomb squad guys on the podcast say Wilder had him hurt and didn't jump on him. I didn't see that, man. Like I said, sometimes, I got a lot going on here at the home front sometimes. So sometimes I might miss out on certain shit, man. But if anybody that was watching the fight, because like I said, sometimes we all don't see everything. Anybody that was watching the fight, please give me the round. Maybe if you could give him the minute breakdown where he had him hurt, but he didn't jump on him. Like I know the 8th round, Wilder, man, he showed what he is, a warrior, the chin, and all that, because he damn near was about to go out, man. But he stayed up. He stayed up, man. But hey, what do I know? He says, man, he has many. Yes, he does, man. He does, man. Hey, yo, one thing, let me put this up, man. Let me highlight that, Gumbo. Hold on, because I don't want to get people upset, right? I'm gonna pin that one, right? Let me pin that, man. Right? I gotta pin that right here. Cause I'm gonna say something. Yeah, my bad. I had to blow my nose amongst other things, right? I didn't want to do that with the mic and shit on, right? But the yes man thing, right? Let's go back to that, Gumbo. Let's highlight that, right? Now, we touched on this earlier, right? Where he says, I can't stand human beings, right? No. Go put that back. Put that back. Put that back. No. Put that back. Put that back. No. Close the door. Yeah, he said that he can't stand human beings, right? That people close to him, this is what he highlighted, have betrayed him. This is stuff that he said in the interview, right? It's out there, right? I think this holds to what I just pinned that you said about yes men around him, right? His head of security is no longer with him, right? That guy that was one of Wilder's chief security guys. I don't know what happened with him, right? Maybe he's one of the guys that did him wrong, that backstabbed him, right? He also talked about making millions of dollars with people that did him wrong, right? Maybe these are some of the guys that aren't yes men, like what you highlighted, Gumbo. Because what I noticed, and I can speak up about this from my experience, right, of dealing with fighters and being around fighters, a lot of these fighters like yes men. They don't like guys that's gonna be like, yo, champ, what are you doing? That's not the vibes, right? They like guys that'll be like, oh, yo, champ, go champ. You know, they like, listen, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. They like the Tay Joneses, the Malik Scott type of niggas, man. Yeah, I said your names, and what? Suck your mother, right? That's the type of niggas they like, right? They don't like, listen, they like those type of guys, right? Because look, now Wilder has come out and did this interview and spoke about him being off leading up to this fight in camp. But yet, all these guys that are around him, did any of y'all be like, yo, champ, man, you looking, you're not looking the part. Nah, y'all didn't. Y'all just go with the flow. Y'all just go with the flow, and afterwards, what do y'all do? Y'all just be like, yeah, man, something was off. Nah, something was off leading up to it. Yo, Malik Scott, hold on. I gotta let me. I don't want to misquote my guy, right? Let me get my guy's quote right. I'm not gonna put the man's name out there, but this is the quote, right, from a good colleague in the game. All right. He says, and I quote, Malik needs to be fired. That smile he had on his face pissed me off. Now, you know what smile he's referring to, right? Remember when they interviewed Malik? And I think I could pull it up on this right here. They interviewed Malik. And it might even be on here too. Hold on, let me see if it's on on this as well. It should be on here as well. Let's pull it up on here as well. Where Malik Scott, right? Yo, Malik Scott is a funny guy, bro. Malik Scott sat up there and admitted, right? Look. I think the article's still up here. I think the article's still up here. Here, right here. Look, here it is. Let's pull up the receipts, right? Now I got that interview. I got that quote from somebody off the record. That's why I'm not gonna say who said that. But that's an off the record quote right there. See, I'm giving y'all some gems right there, right? See how I disclose that? When you get off the record quotes as a media person, right? You can speak on them, right? You can speak on it, but you just can't disclose who you got the quote from. But look what I just read. Malik needs to be fired. That smile he had on his face pissed me off, right? That's an off-the-record quote from somebody in the game, right? And they probably read this article. They probably seen the interview he did where he was smiling, right? But look what he says in this article. Malik Scott, head trainer, the former WBC champion Deontay Wilder, gave high praises to Joseph Parker for his big win on Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The 38-year Wilder, who snapped a 14-month layoff, was never able to let his hands go and seemed to be tentative to pull the trigger. Parker, also a former world champion, was taking part in his fourth fight of the year, right? He managed to hurt Wilder barely in the 8th round, but the Olympic bronze medal winner was able to weather the storm. Now, I want to get to what Malik, look, Scott was impressed by the strategy by Parker and his trainer, Andy Lee. Bad night in the office. First of all, Joseph Parker and Andy Lee, they had a hell of a game plan. Joseph Parker's chin wasn't over his front a couple of times. He was heavy-footed. I thought that Deontay Wilder could continue to be patient, jab, make him run into something, but his chin never went over his front. His foot, he fought. Oh man, he said he fought. Scott told ES News. This is what he's referring to. I'm not gonna pull up that guy's interview, right? Because that guy likes to report your channel. But that's the quote that I got, right? Where he says that the smile, right? Because man, if you watch the interview, it's the ES News interview. He smiled, right? Now this goes back to what I was saying about rebuilding and the off the record quote. Malik needs to be fired, right? For how he was smiling. So now you admitted to being out-coached pretty much, right? From what I just read. Is that a fair assessment that he admitted to being out-coached? He didn't make the proper adjustments, right? Andy Lee, another former fighter, right? But I think this ties into what Gumbo says, right? Malik Scott is a former Deontay Wilder opponent who Wilder knocked out. Now he is training Wilder. How odd is that, right? Or does that kind of go with what Gumbo said, that Wilder likes yes men around him, right? You have a guy training you that you knocked out. I'm going to say that one more time. You have a guy who is your head trainer that you knocked out. Would you say that qualifies Malik Scott as a yes man? Just a question. Would you say that qualifies Malik Scott as a yes man? If I, the fighter, Deontay Wilder, have fought and knocked out my head coach trainer. Does that qualify him as a yes man? Does it? I think it does. I think it does, right? I think it qualifies him as a yes man. And it's starting to show. If you know, you know, man. You know, if you know, you know. But hopefully, you know, we get some more on this as far as how he intends to rebuild and get his fire back. You know. But listen, I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. You know what? I will put my link out for a little while, right? If anybody wants to, just jump on real quick, because I pretty much touched on my speaking points, right? And I said that's something that I'm going to start incorporating a little bit, putting the link out there, you know. Let's get the link up. Anybody that wants to jump on. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, y'all. My bad. Um, you know how that goes, man. Yo, the sauce be getting too spicy. Like my man Toby would say. I was getting a little too spicy. So they had to boot me out the they had to boot me out the studio for a second. But we are back. I'm gonna put the link out real quick. you know, if anybody wants to jump on, you know, put the link out there real quick, man. I think we might go to the movies, man. I was gonna, you know, because I got stuff going on tomorrow. I got some stuff going on tomorrow, right? Yo, what are the Knicks looking like, man? I got a nice bet placed on the Knicks. How are the Knicks looking right now, man? Hopefully my parlay hits. You know, I've been on for an hour and 20 minutes, man. So I haven't really got a chance to see what my parlay is doing. I'm gonna put the link out there. I don't know. The Wi-Fi is getting real tricky right now, right? Look, yeah, I dropped too much sauce, man. And then shout out to Gumbo and Carlos. Yeah, when brothers over here donate to the channel, man, they don't like that, man. I'm telling you, they don't like that. When I get the donations, when I get those donations, and brothers like the official tissue brothers donate to the channel, because you know you have so many people that on the internet, right? As far as internet, what's the name? You have so many people, right? As far as like internet, internet gurus and guys on this internet boxing, right? That they've been trying to undermine and just do shit when it starts. Yeah, you right, Toe. Hold on, let me pull that up. Toe says Shanewz hot sauce. Sometimes it's just too spicy for some people. That's a fact. Caliente. You know, I got too caliente over here. But here's the link, man. Anybody want to jump on real quick? Feel free. I'm gonna check on this game real quick. I got a nice parlay. You know what I mean? A nice parlay going. You know, for the Knicks, man. Let me see what I'm looking like, man. If anybody wants to jump on and just say Merry Christmas or anything, feel free, man. We at the desk right now. I got in my speaking points. You know, I ran through my notes. As you can see, look, we professional over here. See my notes? All right, let me see what my bet is looking like right now. Oh man, okay. Okay. I need Giannis to heat up. Okay. Man, right now, what quarter is it? Damn, the Bucks. I need Giannis to get busy, man. Jalen Brunson is on code, right? He's close. I need Damian Lillard and Giannis to step it up, man. Step it up, man. I need 2 more threes from both Damian Lillard and Jalen Brunson. I need 3 more assists from Giannis and 3 more rebounds, man. And I'll be sitting pretty, man. Come on, y'all. Get it going, man. We got a it's pretty much the start of, let's get this right, man. This will be a nice lick. But yes, that is the link, man. Feel free to jump on if you want to jump on. You know, give your thoughts. If not, it is what it is. You know, we working over here. See, I had to shut down some of my I think that's what was freezing it up, man. But if you wanna get up in here, feel free. Get up in here, man. You know, we are at the desk. That is the link. You know, internet weirdos, crash dummies are welcome. You know, if I don't fuck with you, you just stay in the back. You heard? That's the energy we carry into the new millennium, right? The new millennium coming up, the new year. That's what I call it, the new millennium. If your energy isn't conducive for the brand or the things that I got going on, you can click the link all you want. You just sit in the back. Word. You just sit in the back. You know? If you've been an internet crash dummy, you know, you could just sit in the back, right? Relax and take notes. Let's pull this up. I might put in a nice parlay for the football game tonight as well. Oh man. You know, one thing I don't do, right? I see Coach Green came in here. I don't like that. Um, I learned that, right? You see a lot of people posting and showing, you know, their gifts and all of that. I don't do that because I know there's a lot of kids out there. There's a lot of families that, you know, their kids probably didn't get shit. They didn't get nothing. So I stress that to my kids. I'll be like, yo, be grateful and thankful. But don't, you know, like Coach Green came in here with her little tablet, iPad thing. I stress that to my kids. Like, yo, don't be like that. Because there are families and there are kids out there. Like I said, they didn't get nothing. They woke up and it was just another day, you know? It was just another day. But it is what it is, right? Man, tomorrow is up, man. Like I said, drop your comments. I got this guy coming through, Pop. Javon Woodard out of ATL. You know? Most likely, I'll do that interview here. I'll go, because I am off of work again tomorrow. I'll go to the location and do that interview, you know. I'll do that interview there. And I need the Knicks, man. I need what's there to step up. Let me see what's going on, man. Come on, man. Damian, look, yo, they usually light it up at the Garden, man. Okay, Giannis is on cold, man. Man, the Bucks is just cold, man. Come on, Bucks, get right, man. Get right. Giannis needs. I need 3 more assists and 3 more rebounds, man. 3 more assists, 3 more rebounds, man. Yo, Tariq Hill blew my parlay yesterday, right? This was my parlay. He didn't get no touchdown, man. Killed me. But yesterday's parlay, I had that going over 225 and 2 touchdowns. Those 2 hit. I had Tariq Hill, 90 plus yards. That hit. And I had the quarterback, Tua. I can't say his last name. Over 225. That hit. The only one that missed out was Tariq Hill. Can y'all see that? Probably not, man. But man, that would have been a nice one, man. That would have been a nice one. But it is what it is. I might put on a parlay tonight on the football game. You know? I don't really want to mess with the Giants, you know? Let's see with that. Ooh, ooh. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Let me see something. Yo, the Bucks was favored too, man. All right, they trying to turn it back on. It's a lot of time left. A lot can happen, man. See, a lot could go down, man. I need these guys to heat up, man. How many points does Julian Randle have? See, good thing I didn't put him on my parlay. Julian Randle right now only has 2 points. He's killing. I need Jalen Brunson to grab one more rebound. That is in the bag. Come on, Brunson. Grab one more rebound. I need you to drop 7 more points, which you most likely you do. You know, one more rebound. Get in your bag. You know, get in your bag. We working over here. That's the link, man. Anybody want to jump on? Feel free. If you got a topic you want me to speak on, like I said, I pretty much nailed everything I had to nail out. You know, if you got a topic you want me to touch on, type it up in here. I'll speak on it. You know, like I said, I got a little too spicy. They tried to kick me out the studio. You know, we at the desk, man. Yo, I like this Red Bull flavor. This was Pacific Rum, not a Red Bull. This is the Monster Energy drink. Monster Energy drink, man. Yeah, I had to laugh at myself when I said it was a Red Bull. It's the Monster Energy drink, man. Let me see while I'm waiting for y'all, man. Let me look at some parlays on these football games, man. Oh, Patty Mahomes. Travis Kelsey. Let's look at what they got going. He's a live betting right now, man. Anytime touchdown scorer. Damn, nah, that ain't gonna happen. I be playing around with these um, with these parlays, right? I be playing around with these parlays, man. When these parlays hit, you gotta just do like a two, three, sometimes four way parlay. Put a decent amount of money on it, and they hit. Oh man, forget about it, man. See, I knew Giannis. Look, I knew Giannis, and look, Giannis is dead. Look, ooh, yo, I know they're gonna turn it up in the fourth quarter, man. Look, the score is 77-73, right? I know they're gonna turn it up in the fourth quarter, man. One, right? Giannis is almost there for me, man. And we still got the fourth quarter. We still got the fourth quarter. Listen, I want to put the game on, man. I see y'all are kind of tongue tied. I'm gonna turn the game on, right? Because I don't have the game on. I got it on mute. But I want to officially turn the game on since nobody wants to talk boxing with me. Like I said, I hammered out my speaking points, right? I am going to put the rest of the Nick game on and enjoy the Nick game. I may come back on later on this evening. I don't know. It's Christmas, or we may go to see Aquaman. Let me see if my kids want to go see Aquaman. If my kids want to go see Aquaman, I did have plans on doing that tomorrow, being that I am off tomorrow. But if they want to go today, hey girls, let's see what time Aquaman is playing today. Do you guys want to go see Aquaman today? Nah, I'm not going to see Trolls. I said Aquaman. No, I said Aquaman. No, I said Aquaman. Look, look, Aquaman at 4:40. No. No, you can't bring that. No. I don't know. I'm just looking. Yeah, they got so many different showing. He said Merry Christmas, Coach Reem. Merry Christmas. He said Merry Christmas. It's not Tom Brady. Toby Bartlett. She called you Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the QB. Yeah, we'll probably go see Aquaman, man. Especially if this parlay hits. Let me see. Let me go back. Let me go back and see how my parlay is looking, man. My parlay was looking real good, man. With 1/4 to go. 1/4 to go. Mm. Yes, sir. But listen, he said Christmas tree is a time for family. Yes, it is. So we're gonna go to the movies. I'm not. She called you Tom Brady. Listen, I'm going to wrap this up. Yo, I got a new drop, right? I got a new drop that I wanna use, right? I want to use this new drop. You know me, I get some fire drops, right? I am the drop king. Watch this drop that I got right here. I'm gonna close the show with this one. And this Christmas will be. Tell me if y'all like this drop. Let me know, man.
This is a Source Experience. The news by Shanewz. But what do I know?
So you say you don't mind being called Tom Brady, huh? Yo, look at the drops that I got now. Fire. Fire. More fire. More fire. Tove, you like that, right? You like, you like that, right? That one is fire, right? That one is fire. Look, see, they love they love the Sauce experience. The kids love the Sauce, man.
This is the Sauce Experience. The news by Shanewz. But what do I know?
Yeah, that's fire, right? He said, but hey, what do I know? Shout out to Lil Man. Yes, I specifically saved that one for Christmas, man. I like that one. That one was fire, man. I specifically saved it for Christmas, man. Fire.
This is the Sauce Experience. The news by Shanewz. But what do I know?
But hey, what do I know? Listen, happy holidays to everybody. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the Sauce this morning. Merry Christmas. Enjoy a hot glass of eggnog. If you prefer spike it, but be responsible, man. And the news by Shanewz. This is the Sauce Experience. But hey, what do I know?
Hey guys, this is Shanewz. I'm a top ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout out to Sauce Talk Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes.